So we can.
Hello, hello. This is SaugaTalks. Hello, everyone. Hello. Today's wonderful day for me here. I'm Irene. Maybe you already know. Follow SaugaTalks. We do want subscribers. Okay, we want more comments. We want likes on YouTube. But also, SaugaTalks is everywhere. LinkedIn, Twitter. Now even on major podcasting platforms. Amazon Music, Spotify, whatever your favorite platform, you can listen to us because I speak weekly with fascinating people in tech. We touch on subjects in a very conversational way. So hope you can join our conversation, become part of this community because these are fabulous, fabulous, bright people I'm talking to every week. Today, my esteemed guest, Josina Rodrigues. Josina, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. After this, I'm so excited to talk with you. Congratulations, SaugaTalks. You are everywhere. So now you have an opportunity to learn and you don't have more excuses. You can see, teach, and learn at the same time.
Exactly. And podcasting now, right? Gaining the momentum. And what we want to do here, and we're going to talk about complex terms, but in a very, very simple conversational way. That I think what we're still missing in all the noise and all the info load we're all part of. Justina, we agreed we're going to talk about blockchain, but in kind of interesting angle, okay? Because sometimes blockchain is still an ivory tower for those who are close to technology or for those who are business leaders who heard something but still don't comprehend what is the tangible application that everyone should know about. So how about we're going to start with a very broad positioning there. Blockchain for everyone. What do you mean?
Oh, blockchain for everyone. It means that if you can travel. So first of all, let's go traveling without words, just with our minds, and to remember the start of internet. It was quite weird. Internet is for what? It's but now we cannot live without. So all the society changed completely, and now everybody is so connected. It's so organic that you can don't remember how internet works. We don't care. It's the same with blockchain. So blockchain for everyone, it means what is the importance of blockchain in our society? How can change my next job, my next opportunity in life, and how it changed my next transaction with bank or with Irene, with SaugaTalks? How? So first of all, I would like to share because now we have so many information available that everybody can share and search and read about blockchain. Imagine that everybody that in this moment it's listening our podcasts, everybody's well connected. And we are just small pieces from a puzzle. And it's so interesting because each node or each block is responsible to see if this information is correct or not. This is the only information that I will share with you, technically speaking. Or each node will see if the information will validate if the information is correct or not. So what this means that with this kind of relation, we can say that blockchain, all the benefits that blockchain for our lives can change it completely. And we can share information with everybody. We cannot change information because it's immutable. In the other side, we do not need an intermediary. Why? Because all the information is in the same block and well divided in a copy. It's the most simple way that I can explain. And which is brings for us everything is changing bank, for example. Blockchain started with Bitcoin, as everybody knows, but what is this change completely with the first time that just to share with you that the first time that I talked with Irene, I shared that in my first classes, I used my kitchen. Sorry.
No, you're on. You're
Okay.
solo. Go solo.
Okay.
Yeah, you are the star of the show. Go ahead. Yes, of course.
No, because I had an image using my kitchen with the blockchain. All the ingredients that we know, sugar, flour is there, but we are using a different way, and it can promote different receipts. It means that blockchain, it's only a tool that you can use. Imagine that you are using an ingredient that you know a lot of time ago. So with Bitcoin, we used this tool, blockchain, in another way to verify all the information. And without intermediary, created new relationships. And because of this, it's so important. We can use this in our bank transactions. Why? Using this structure with smart contracts, we can say that me and Irene, we can have, for example, she wants to sell her car and I want to buy her car. We do not have more intermediaries between us. With a smart contract, it will only decide that I can buy if I have money, and she can sell if she is the property. If she has the property of the car. So when you have this kind of verification, we can exchange directly money for a car, the car for a money without intermediary. Okay, it's the technical side, but how can change our lives? Everything. Supply chain. Can we imagine that all the documents that we need to share in each relationship with each agent that we can have in a supply chain? So with blockchain, each node or each agent or each one has all the information all the time available. And as internet in the beginning, it's been so weird and so complicated and so difficult because we can say, oh, but everybody will have all my information. We are talking here in Europe about our RGPD. No one can have my information, for example. No. Take it easy. We have a public blockchains and you have private. But the most important is how can I apply in my daily life?
You
First of
mentioned
all,
the kitchen, right? You mentioned using blockchain in the kitchen. That's a
yes,
fresh example.
it's like because we have all the ingredients that they are old ones, but now with blockchain we change the way that we mix them and we have another kind of receipt. It is the same with blockchain. Oh, it's a new technology. It's not a new technology, it's a new way to use the technology. And now the fascinating point that Irene is sharing with SaugaTalks, that is means that blockchain can help to change your next business using how. My first paper, it was talking about how can we use blockchain to in healthcare, for example, or in our kitchen or in our job. All the informations, they are completely available in a ledger. So this ledger can be able to define and to structure all your next step. And without fraud or without modification, like in the kitchen, you're doing a cake. If you put your sugar, an amount of milk, you cannot take away the milk. It will be there. It's unchangeable. Everything in a kitchen, the very basic way we can see in blockchain. And it was the first beginning. But as I told you, for this kind of opportunity that we are having, I want to motivate you that you are listening SaugaTalks to learn more about how can we apply blockchain. We can see.
Okay, let me reiterate, right? Let me reiterate. So blockchain is for faster transactions, for transparent transactions, for being part of the chain, right? With your community, with your, I'm simplifying the terms, right? To be part of this trusted network. Some call it still database, right? If you fan of that term. But point is, right? Faster, better transactions, more secure, easy to manage, trustable, right? What else should I add? What kind of adjective should we add to this description, Josina?
We can say that it's efficient. Why? Because if you do not need copy all the information each time, for example, in a supply chain, we have a lot of agents since the product starts to be produced here and until to arrive there at the end for the end consumer. So you have so many times repeating all the information, so you have less cost and increase speed, efficient.
Wonderful. Let's talk about applications. You're about to say. So, healthcare. Will I be able to access better care? Will it be easier for me as consumer when all my providers and all my pharmacies are on blockchain?
I know that you are based in the United States, and in this moment, everything is changed with regulations in blockchain as cryptocurrencies. So we are just talking about the possible applications. We imagine that we don't have legislations or regulations that now in each field of the economy, in each sector, you have limitations. So in Europe, we are doing here the same as in another part of the world, of course. So in healthcare, imagine that you have a baby and all the characteristics of this baby, you can manage it, not sharing data, but all the governance can estimate and create a forecast how your child will be treated and all the costs and all the diagnosis and providing the best experience along all his life. And it's fantastic because when we have a forecast, for example, a disease that you can detect in early stage, you can provide another kind of solution. And you can organize all the related sectors to produce, for example, drugs. For example, now with COVID, all the researches that we have, and we know that we have problems to share personal data, but we are not talking about public ledger, we are talking about private ledger. So we have a lot of different definitions with security. Please, it's the best way to share information is with blockchain. And you know, Irene, it's something that is very important to know that with blockchain and politically, if they want, we can finish fraud.
As an ideal state, absolutely something to be inspired, right, to work towards. So you mentioned all the data, right, shared between subsidiaries, right, between the stakeholders. Let's talk about artificial intelligence there, because we read a lot about discovering patterns, right, even like developing new drugs. And imagine, right, if all the players already on blockchain. Please describe that scenario.
And it's not only with AI, and we can say all the insurance. Can you imagine everything that is changing in this moment with blockchain applied for insurance? completely different. Why? Because you can create a different product, for example, for a specific disease, an insurance for a specific disease, and you can have all the data that you cannot change, and you can verify their trust. We have a trust ledger that governments, all the stakeholders can have the same information at the same time. So it's another pattern of relationships. And my thesis was analyzing which kind of profile we will have in the next society with blockchain. That, a seller, it's not only a seller, it's a seller that is responsible for all the information that they are offering and all the qualities of the product or the service that they are offering. It's so interesting. It's very hard to create the next stage for healthcare, for insurance. We are talking about pharmaceutical applications. And if you were creating another kind of application, supply chain, and all the stages that you have, that, and now United States, we are almost Black Friday, we are almost Christmas times, and you have problems in Europe, and you have problems here in the United States with the supply chain.
Supply chain. I was waiting when you will bring it up. So how will blockchain will change our supply chains? How the players in that universe are gonna feel the ease of doing business with blockchain? What's that? Yes.
First of all, to share information and to be more efficient, reducing costs. If imagine that a driver started in the starting point to distribute the products, and in each stage, all the documents entry directly on the ledger. And you can verify, and all the stakeholders can see what is happening with this kind of product or driver or collectionable information that you have inside of from the producer. So since the starting point until the end user, imagine that you have a child soup that you will offer to your child in this moment. You can you have traceability. All the, for example, potatoes, that where the potatoes was plant and how the soup was prepared and which kind of ingredients and the expiration date until the end consumer. So everything is in the same. So how we can change everything. We are not talking about, for example, in digital transformation, we are talking about the supply chain, and you asked me how you change. Well, before, how it was organized in the companies, we are having, in this moment, ERP, we have another kind of structure, CRM, we have our own data sheets for financial staff, we have a lot of small
business process management platform somewhere, right? All the data sources living somewhere, all the legacy applications somewhere. People forget how they work. People who wrote them not longer with companies, and all this complex world you're describing. Yes, chaos. Yeah, keep going.
Yes, and because of your experience with so bright people that comes from SaugaTalks, you know that it's a real mess inside. And with blockchain, we can change. Because of this, I invited you to read a PECB University, from PECB University Canadian basis, an article that I've wrote about how blockchain can be can catalyze digital transformation. How? Connecting everything, and you cannot provide the same information a couple of times, or creating APIs to integrate everything. It's so easy and so natural when you see a big picture and which kind of information I need.
You know what? Some smart person called blockchain, I read, ERP of all ERPs. That's
Exactly.
kind of interesting angle, right? Yeah,
Yes,
beautiful.
and I will start in this point to. I'm not a feminist, but it's a very good opportunity for all women restart their careers. Why?
Let's
Because
talk about roles. Yeah, what kind of jobs, what kind of roles associated with this big promise of blockchain future?
first of all, we don't have the same role. We will have the role, but we have an upgrade. It is like without internet, and with internet in the 90s, we started to send emails, and before it was very difficult by phone only.